The 1944 P. Monticello Jefferson Nickel is no ordinary coin. It is a piece of American history wrapped in silver, born at a time when the world was engulfed in war. Unlike typical nickels made of copper and nickel, this particular coin carries something special, a wartime composition of silver that sets it apart. When you hold a 1944 P. Jefferson Nickel in your hand, you're not just holding a piece of metal. You're holding the echoes of World War II, when the U.S. Mint adjusted its materials to support the war effort. That alone makes this coin rare, valuable, and unforgettable. Imagine the world of 1944. Soldiers overseas, industries transformed for war, and every ounce of copper and nickel redirected for weapons and machinery. The Mint had to make a bold choice, and thus came the war nickels. Struck with 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. The P Mint mark above Monticello on the reverse became a symbol of these unique wartime nickels. This was the very first time the Philadelphia Mint had ever used a mint mark on a coin, making the 1944 P. Jefferson Nickel a true milestone in numismatic history. The design itself tells a story of American pride. On the obverse, Thomas Jefferson's profile radiates determination, the kind of resolve the nation needed during wartime. On the reverse, his beloved Monticello home is displayed, simple yet strong, framed by inscriptions that emphasize the democratic values he helped build. But for collectors, it is that oversized P Mint mark on the reverse that instantly signals treasure, a mark that screams history and rarity all at once. Collectors know that war nickels are unlike any other. Because of the silver content, they have intrinsic value far beyond face value, even in worn or dirty condition. A 1944 P nickel in poor shape can still be worth far more than 5 cents, while pristine examples can fetch hundreds, even thousands, in today's market. And if the coin has a unique error, such as a double die or misstrike, its value skyrockets into the unimaginable, sometimes reaching the kind of figures that can change lives overnight. The mystique of this coin only grows when you think about its journey. These nickels were used in wartime America, passing to the hands of soldiers' families, workers in factories, and children collecting change for war bonds. To hold one today is to feel that living history, to touch something that may have bought bread during rationing or paid for a bus ride to a war plant. Each scratch, each worn edge is a reminder of the lives it touched, the struggles it witnessed, and the hope it carried. Collectors prize the 1944 P because of its unique place in the Jefferson Nickel series. Unlike the standard copper-nickel coins of other years, the wartime composition ensures that it will always stand out. Its silver glow, even under dirt or tarnish, is unmistakable. And because silver itself has always been linked with wealth, the coin's very metal reinforces its value and desirability. The dirtier the coin, the deeper its story runs. Yet beneath that dirt lies a shine that collectors dream of uncovering. In the world of numismatics, few coins hold the balance of history, rarity, and beauty that the 1944 P. Jefferson Nickel does. It is both a war relic and a piece of art, a financial necessity turned national treasure. Every time one appears on the market, collectors scramble to claim it, knowing they are not just buying a coin, but a slice of history with the power to appreciate in value far beyond imagination. There are stories of ordinary people stumbling across 1944 P nickels in change jars or inherited coin collections, only to discover later that what they thought was a common coin was actually worth a fortune. These stories ignite the imagination, because if one small, dirty coin can hold the power to make someone a millionaire, then perhaps anyone could be holding that fortune without even knowing it. That's the magic of the 1944 P nickel. The oversized mint mark above Monticello is also a symbol of transparency. The Mint deliberately marked these coins so that they could be removed from circulation after the war. But many survived, hiding in drawers and pockets, only to resurface decades later. Today, their survival makes them symbols of endurance, standing strong long after the conflict that created them has faded into history. Even in the modern coin market, where collectors chase rarities from every era, the 1944 P. Jefferson Nickel continues to stand tall. Its unique wartime origin ensures it will always command attention. Its silver composition guarantees it will never be worthless. and its place in history makes it one of the most engaging coins ever produced in America. No matter its condition, shiny or dirty, worn or crisp, this coin carries a story that turns heads and opens wallets. The truth is, the 1944 P. Jefferson Nickel is more than just currency. It is a story of sacrifice, innovation, and resilience. It carries the weight of history in its silver core and the promise of fortune in its rarity. If you own one, you do not simply own a coin. You own a piece of America's wartime soul, a key to wealth, and perhaps even the power to transform your life overnight. So if you stumble across one of these nickels, don't dismiss it as just another old coin. Look closer. See the oversized P above Monticello. Feel the weight of silver in your hand. And remember, sometimes the smallest, dirtiest treasures are the ones that hold unimaginable wealth. This is the 1944 P. Monticello Jefferson Nickel, an ordinary coin with extraordinary power to change fortunes forever. Next up, the 1943 P. Monticello Jefferson Nickel is one of those rare treasures in American coinage that carries with it more than just monetary value. It carries the weight of history, the mark of war, and the hidden promise of unimaginable fortune. At first glance, it may look like a simple nickel, tarnished with time, maybe dirty from decades of circulation, but in reality, it stands apart from ordinary pocket change. It is not just a coin, it is a war relic, struck in silver when America was forced to change its very currency to meet the demands of World War II. That decision alone makes this coin stand in a league of its own. In 1943, the United States was deep in the heart of World War II. Every ounce of copper and nickel was desperately needed for the war effort, fueling weapons, armor, and machinery to supply American forces across the globe. To continue producing coins for daily life without draining those vital resources, the U.S. Mint created a new alloy of 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. These war nickels became unique among American coinage, and the 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel is a shining star in that group. The P mint mark above Monticello on the reverse is especially significant because it was the very first time Philadelphia ever placed a mint mark on any coin. That alone forever cements this nickel's place in numismatic history. The design itself tells a story that is both patriotic and timeless. On the front, the profile of Thomas Jefferson gazes forward with strength and dignity, a reminder of the democratic ideals the United States was fighting to preserve. On the reverse, Monticello, Jefferson's beloved home, stands solid and enduring, framed by inscriptions that speak to unity and liberty. Yet collectors know that what makes the 1943 P special is not just the design, but that oversized P mint mark, boldly placed above Monticello, almost as if shouting to future generations. This coin is different. This coin is history. Even in dirty, worn condition, the 1943 P war nickel carries value far beyond face value. Its silver content alone ensures it will never be worthless, while pristine examples command staggering premiums in the collector's market. And if one contains rare errors such as double dyes, misstrikes, or unique toning, its worth can leap into the realm of thousands or even millions in today's highly competitive coin world. It is the kind of coin that could make a person's fortune overnight, hidden wealth in the form of a humble nickel. Think about the journeys this coin might have taken. It could have paid for a meal during rationing, traveled in the pocket of a soldier's family, or been exchanged for war stamps to help fund America's fight for freedom. Each scratch and worn edge tells a story of perseverance, of sacrifice, of survival in one of the most pivotal moments in world history. To hold a 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel is to hold a fragment of that struggle and triumph. Collectors today treasure these coins not just for their silver, but for the story they carry. They are sought after because they are tangible pieces of a wartime economy, coins that should never have existed in their normal copper-nickel form, and thus became something extraordinary. When a collector sees that large P mint mark above Monticello, they don't just see a letter, they see rarity, they see history, and they see opportunity. The beauty of the 1943 P is that its value transcends condition. Whether it's dirty and forgotten at the bottom of an old coin jar or gleaming in a carefully preserved holder, it carries power. Its silver core whispers of hidden wealth, while its design shouts of American resilience. Even in the most worn state, it can command respect and money. And in pristine condition, it becomes a treasure that can change fortunes overnight. Over the decades, countless stories have emerged of ordinary people finding a 1943 P. Jefferson nickel in loose change or in an inherited collection, only to discover it was worth hundreds, thousands, or even far more depending on its uniqueness. That's the thrill and the mystery of coins like this. You never know when an old nickel could turn out to be your ticket to unimaginable riches. What makes this coin even more powerful is the symbolism behind it. The decision to use silver was not just practical, it was patriotic. It represented a sacrifice by the mint and by the American people, trading one valuable resource for another to ensure victory. And now, decades later, that sacrifice has transformed these nickels into treasures that collectors and investors chase, driving up their value year after year. The 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel remains one of the most fascinating coins in U.S. history, straddling the line between necessity and beauty, between everyday use and priceless rarity. Its oversized mint mark and silver content make it unmistakable, while its backstory ensures it will always capture hearts and imaginations. This is not just a 5-cent piece. It is a symbol of wealth, resilience, and hidden fortune. If you hold one today, you hold more than just a coin. You hold a war relic, a piece of America's legacy, and perhaps even the key to overnight wealth. Do not let it slip away cheaply, because within its silver heart lies the power to change a collector's fortune, to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary, and to prove once again that sometimes the smallest things in life hold the greatest treasures next up.